There is just something about the finer things in life that are simply admirable and desirable by everyone. And it is not just the materialistic things I'm talking about. These finer things include food as well. In the ancient times, the royalty, particularly the Middle Eastern and Indian, had lavish dining experiences, and they left us a rich culinary legacy. The deliciously complex blend of flavors, spices, and aromas. Their palaces were huge, outfits intricate, lifestyles immaculate, and even their food was another category of luxury in itself, because of the delicious and expensive ingredients used to prepare them. One of those ingredients is something that isn't very popular in the Western world, but is a way of life for people in the Middle East. Do you know what? This ingredient is also the most expensive spice in the world. You're listening to TALRadio powered by Touch a Life Foundation, and welcome to Foodology. I'm radio host Devansh, and on this show, I talk about the enormous world of a little word called food. Saffron, the most expensive spice in the world. The thread-like red stigmas and the yellow hue they impart are quite literally the stuff of legend. But what is saffron exactly? No matter how many tales have been told about this spice, a lot of us still do not know what it is or what to do with it, or what is the reason for its high cost. Well, this spice originates from a flower called Crocus sativus, commonly known as the Saffron Crocus. The golden colored stigmas are dried and used as a spice to flavor foods and as a dye to color foods and other products. Saffron is extremely subtle and fragrant. The slightly sweet and luxurious taste is totally enigmatic. The slightly sweet and luxurious taste is totally euphoric. The taste is tricky to describe, but it is very instantly recognizable in a dish. As annoying as it sounds, but you would know when a dish contains saffron in it or not. Saffron is literally cooking's golden child, with its deep orange hue bringing a vibrant color and flavor to any dish. And as I've mentioned before, is the most expensive spice in the world. But how much does it cost? Well, by the 16th century, it cost as much as gold, and today, a top quality saffron will cost you around $10,000 a pound. During the ancient times, saffron had many uses around the world. However, some of these uses were forgotten throughout history. But a newly formed interest in natural active compounds brought back the attention towards historical uses of saffron. Understanding different uses of saffron and its history can actually help us finding the best uses in the present. It is valued not only as a culinary condiment, but also as a dye, a perfume, and as a medicinal herb. Its medicinal uses ranged from treating eye problems to genitourinary and many other diseases in various cultures throughout history. For a better understanding of this spice, or any spice in general, it is extremely important to know about its history. According to the historical findings, it is not clear that where was the first place that saffron was grown and which nation was the first one to use it. But records do show that saffron was used as a medicine in the Fertile Crescent, between the Tigris and the Euphrates, where the first known complete civilization emerged. In Mesopotamia, saying magic words and performing symbolic gestures while prescribing and using drugs was a routine. They believed that these would give drugs the power to heal. According to a Greek legend, there was a handsome young man named Crocus, who was out on a pursuit for a fairy or a nymph, Smilax, in the woods near Athens. They both enjoyed a brief period of idyllic love in which she was initially flattered by Crocus. Soon, however, Smilax got irritated of him. After he continued to pursue her against her wishes, she finally bewitched him. And thus, Crocus was transformed into the Saffron Crocus flower, with its radiant orange stigmas remaining as a faint symbol of Crocus's continuing passion for Smilax. In the Greco-Roman classical period, the saffron harvest is first portrayed in the palace frescoes of Minoan, Crete, which depicts the flowers being picked by young girls and monkeys. Many other frescoes of Minoan Empire around 1650 BC portrayed a Greek goddess supervising the plucking of flowers and the picking of stigmas for use in the manufacturing of a therapeutic drug. A fresco from the same site also depicts a woman who uses saffron to treat a bleeding foot. These frescoes are first botanically accurate pictorial representation of saffron's use as a herbal remedy. However, the two saffron-growing Minoan settlements of Thera and Akrotini, both on Santorini in Greece, were ultimately destroyed by a powerful earthquake. In ancient Greece, saffron was a royal dye and was used as a perfume in courts, theatres, bathrooms, and personal and public spaces. Later, its use was spread among common people. The ancient Greeks and Romans also prized saffron for its use as a deodorizer. They scattered about public spaces such as royal halls, courts, amphitheaters. Upon Emperor Nero's entrance into Rome, they even spread it along the streets. Indeed, wealthy Romans made daily use of saffron baths. They also used saffron as mascara, stirred saffron threads into their wines, used it in their halls and streets as a potpourri, and also offered it to their deities. Roman colonists took their saffron with them when they settled in southern Gaul, where it was extensively cultivated until the barbarian invasion of Italy in 271 AD. During the Persian Empire, around 500 BC, Persian saffron threads have been found interwoven into ancient Persian royal carpets and funeral shrouds. Saffron was used by ancient Persian worshippers as a ritual offering to the deities. It was also used as a brilliant yellow dye, a perfume, and a medicine. Thus, saffron threads would be scattered across beds and mixed into hot teas as a curative for a lot of diseases. Indeed, Persian saffron threads used to spice foods and teas. They were widely suspected by foreigners of being a drugging agent and an aphrodisiac. Such was the fear that travelers to Persia were warned about eating saffron in Persian cuisine. In addition, Persian saffron was dissolved along with sandalwood into water for use as a body wash after heavy work and perspiration in the hot Persian weather. Later, Persian saffron was heavily used by Alexander the Great and his forces during the Asian campaigns. There, they mixed saffron into their teas and dined on saffron rice. Alexander himself used saffron sprinkled in warm water as a bath. He hoped that it would heal his many wounds, and his faith in saffron grew with each treatment. Some believe that saffron was first introduced in India by ancient Persians. Its exact date is unknown, but one Zen, a Chinese medical writer, described Kashmiri saffron by the 3rd century AD. A Buddhist legend dates saffron plantation back to 5th century BC. On the other hand, traditional Kashmiri legends state that saffron arrived during the 11th and 12th centuries, when two foreign Sufis, Khwaja Masood Wali and Hazrat Sheikh Sharifuddin, wandered into Kashmir. They fell sick and were cured by a local chief. As a reward, the two holy men gave them saffron crocus flowers as payment and thanks. To this day, people of Kashmir are grateful to those two Sufis. In ancient India, rich people used a lot of saffron to show their royalty. They used saffron perfume on the royal person or as an air freshener. They dyed their robes and even used it just as decor. The Indian nobility may have learned these costumes from the ancient Greeks and Romans. Saffron is also an important part of traditional Indian celebrations, like weddings. Saffron had a significant role in all religions branched out from Hinduism. It is essential in performing some rituals. The Buddhist monks have adopted saffron color as the most important one. Saffron is used in many Hindu rituals. Another use of saffron has been in the herbal formulations, Ayurvedic medicine and home remedies. Saffron is considered as a tonic, anti-poisonous, aphrodisiac, liver tonic, anti-stress and anti-anxiety treatment. Saffron cultivation in Europe declined significantly after the fall of the Roman Empire. For several centuries after, saffron cultivation was rare and non-existent throughout Europe. This was reversed when the Moorish civilization spread from North Africa to settle in Spain and parts of France and southern Italy. One theory states that Moors reintroduced saffron to the regions. 2 centuries after their conquest of Spain, Moors would plant saffron throughout the southern provinces of Andalusia, Castile, La Mancha, and Valencia. During the pandemic Black Death in the 14th century in Europe, saffron played a significant role in trade history. The use of this ingredient in medical cures led to its importation from abroad and to a lot of piracy of shipment. One such incident went down in history when a shipment of saffron en route to Basel in Switzerland was intercepted by a group of pirates, and a 3-month-long battle took place to recover the shipment. History now remembers that incident as the Saffron War. In the 17th century, during the dawn of Industrial Revolution, there was a decline in saffron cultivation in Europe. This was due to the introduction in Europe of easily growing crops like maize and potatoes, which steadily took over the lands formerly dedicated to saffron cultivation. In addition, the elite, who traditionally used saffron, were now increasingly interested in exotic and new arrivals like chocolate, coffee, tea, and vanilla. Indeed, only in south of France, Italy, and Spain, where saffron had been deeply incorporated into local cultures, the cultivation remained. Saffron made its way to Americas when thousands of Alsatian, German, Swiss, and Europeans fled the continent. They settled mainly in eastern Pennsylvania. Soon, Pennsylvania Dutch saffron was being successfully marketed to Spanish colonists in the Caribbean, while healthy demand elsewhere ensured that its listed price on Philadelphia Commodity Exchange was set equal to that of gold. People developed many uses of saffron in their own home cooking, including cakes, noodles, chicken or trout dishes. Saffron cultivation survived into modern times, mainly in Lancaster County in Pennsylvania. Well, now that you know the history of saffron, you would definitely want to know, why is this the most expensive spice in the world? To answer this question, there can be a few reasons for the priciness. Saffron is finicky to grow with regards to the climate, temperature, and timings of rain. When it's in its happy place, it grows easily, and saffron is grown in quite a few areas worldwide, which include Iran, Greece, Spain, and India. Also, there are only 3 saffron threads per flower, and no mechanized way of separating them. It takes around 14,000 saffron threads to produce 1 ounce of saffron. Our ancestors used saffron for almost everything. Recent scientific advancements revealed so many health benefits of this spice. Saffron contains high levels of antioxidants. These antioxidants help fight against oxidative stress and free radicals in the body. As oxidative stress and free radicals play a role in the development of many health conditions, including cancer and heart disease. Antioxidants such as these may help protect a person's health. The antioxidants in saffron may play a major role in protecting the body from disorders affecting the nervous system. According to studies, the stigma of saffron plant has some magical antidepressant properties. The presence of 2 components in saffron, crocin and saffronol, can effectively help in stimulating neurochemicals like serotonin and dopamine. Saffron, one of the most highly prized spice, works wonders when consumed on a regular basis. Saffron has certain chemicals which help to boost mood, release tension. Hence, it works great for depression, anxiety, and fights insomnia. Saffron tea, or saffron mixed with warm milk, can keep seasonal ailments like cold, cough, and fever at bay. The warm nature of this magical herb helps in relieving the discomfort caused by flu and cold. Loaded with goodness of potassium, consuming saffron every day helps in dilating the blood, which further removes blockages from the arteries. This further reduces blood pressure and prevents heart attacks and strokes. Saffron is good for weight loss, and it also protects the retina of our eyes. Due to the extreme usage of eyes in the digital era, aging can be quicker. If you have been facing problems due to this condition, you can use saffron spice, including carotenoids that take care of your eyes. Okay, these benefits sound immaculate, but how do you actually include saffron in your everyday lives? Simple. You can add saffron to milk and drink it every day. First off, grind the spice and add it to the milk. You can directly add the threads or boil the milk before including the spice. If you love sipping a cup of tea, then saffron tea is just perfect for you. Boil some water and put saffron threads in the teapot and pour the hot water into a cup and drink up. Saffron's subtle taste and aroma pairs well with rice preparations, whether they are sweet or savory. Saffron is an ancient and expensive herb. It has been known since more than 3,000 years. It is valued not only as a culinary condiment but also as a dye, perfume, and a medicinal herb. It contains some antioxidant compounds which may help to reduce the risk of certain chronic conditions that have an association with oxidative stress. Saffron truly has the potential to be categorized as a superfood, Or should I say super spice? Thank you so much for sticking around with me on this episode of Foodology. This is radio host Devansh signing off. Hope you have a beautiful and a magical day ahead. See you soon.